Now Warren Morris hits a deep drive down the right field line. That ball is gone! LSU wins the College World Series on a home run by Morris.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Wherever you're listening or watching us, thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Right now, it's time to slide into this weekend's baseball series presented by Small Sliders. I almost said Paul Sliders again, as we talk to head coach Paul Mainieri. Coach Mainieri, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
I'm happy to be with you.
We're happy to have you. Let's first visit last weekend before we talk about this weekend. Unfortunately, no midweek game this week as weather had other plans. But when you're talking about last weekend, Coach, what I could not get away from was the importance of Sunday's games. Like, there was a lot of good throughout the series, but a lot of good that evaporates without that Sunday win. What did that final game mean to you and the team in terms of going forward?
I really can't overestimate how important Sunday's game was. I know everybody's disappointed we didn't win the series. The players are disappointed. The coaches are disappointed. The fans are disappointed. Everybody's disappointed. But it could have been worse. You know, if we didn't pull off the win on Sunday and you get swept that opening weekend series, man, that would have really put us in a hole. There's a big difference between going 0-3 and 1-2. You know, it's one less win in the win column. It's one more loss in the loss column. So it's really a two-game swing in the standings. And even though we didn't win the series, it's a 30-game season. It's not a 3-game season. And we can make up that game somewhere down the road. You know, we can win a series that maybe people didn't expect us to win. We could sweep a series maybe where people didn't expect us to sweep. And somewhere down the line, you know, you can make it up. But when you have to make up 2 games, that's really tough. And most of all, I think what it did was it really gave our kids confidence that they could win against a really outstanding team in our league, which Mississippi State is. You know, they had a really outstanding pitching staff. And the first 2 games, we just didn't hit. You know, we didn't play bad games. I thought we pitched extremely well. We played really crisp defense. We did everything we could do, except we didn't hit. And obviously hitting is a big part of baseball. And, you know, we ran up against an outstanding pitching staff. And, you know, the old adage that outstanding pitching stops outstanding hitting kind of played true in those first 2 games. But then on Sunday, we found a way. And I thought Gavin Dugas really gave us a big lift with his home run that gave us the lead midway through the game. And after that, our team kind of loosened up a little bit, gained some confidence. We came through with some more big hits. Trey Morgan had a really clutch hit, and then Brody Drost added a big home run, and then Jordan Thompson had a big 2-run double. We actually had 7 hits on Sunday, and 5 of them were for extra bases, which was, I thought, really important. So, you know, our bullpen did the job. We rode A.J. Labus early as a starting pitcher, and it was just a really good win, and gave us a lot of confidence going forward, I think.
And, Coach, on Sunday you did make some lineup changes. Trey Morgan moved to the leadoff spot. Was that something y'all had talked about prior to that happening, or was it after Saturday's game that you decided to make that change?
Yeah, I just went to bed that night, Jacob, and just thought I needed to shake some things up a little bit. You know, one thing I just, you know, it was a tough decision, but I decided to sit Cade Beloso on Sunday. You know, I've stuck with Cade and believed in him. You know, his freshman year, he was really outstanding. He hit 11 home runs, and even though last year in the shortened season he only hit 1 home run, but he hit over 300. He's a third-year guy and a leader of our team, but he's just been in such a rut, and I hated to sit him, especially against Mississippi State in the opening weekend series. But like I said, he's just been struggling so badly, and I decided to go with Brody Drost. I thought that was a big decision to make, and I didn't want the kid to think I was giving up on him, but I just didn't think he was going to produce on Sunday. And Drost came through with the big 2-run homer. But we've been working with Cade Beloso this week, and I think we found something in his swing that's going to really allow him to turn it around. His batting practices this week have really been good. So I think that's going to be something. But once we took Beloso out of the lineup, I just thought, why stop there? Let's shake things up a little bit. And so we put Morgan at the top of the order. Morgan has a really good eye. I thought their starting pitcher, from what we watched on video, he struggled with his command against left-handed pitching for some reason. And I put Drost in the 2-hole, another left-handed hitter, and he walked the first 2 batters of the game. So even though we didn't get a hit, we were able to scratch across 2 runs in the first inning there. And then eventually, we were able to start hitting and scored some other runs. I don't know what we're going to do going forward. I think there's some merit to what we did. And, Morgan brings a lot of the same qualities that Cruz brought to the team as a leadoff hitter. He's a good hitter. He has a good eye. He can run. So I'm going to, kind of sleep on this one today, and then we'll decide what we're going to do tomorrow.
All right, Coach, I'm going to throw it to our producer, Matthew Musso, who literally grew up in the box. He hosts the Musso in the Box podcast. Moose, what you got for Coach?
Coach, obviously every weekend in the SEC is a grind. There are no bad programs, but I was wondering if there's even a little bit more added challenge to playing a program like Tennessee, who's certainly back on the rise.
Yeah, well, Tennessee for years had a good program. They had guys like Todd Helton and Chris Burke and so forth that were really great players. And then they hit a kind of a lull there for, I don't know, a long period of time. But they've got a new coach now, Tony Vitello, who's a power recruiter, and they're back. They're legitimate now. They've got a really good ball club, and I think they're ranked 9th in the country now. They were within an eyelash of sweeping Georgia at Georgia last weekend. They won the first and third games. In the middle game, they had a 1-run lead with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and Georgia took advantage of a couple of misplays and got a 2-run, 2-out single in the bottom of the 9th inning to walk off Tennessee. So Tennessee was really on the verge of sweeping Georgia at Georgia, which was a huge series win for them. So they're sky high. They're 18-4. This is a tremendous challenge. So when you look at our schedule, we opening weekend we had the number 2 ranked team in the country. This weekend we got the number 9 ranked team in the country on the road. Next weekend we got the number 1 team in the country in Vanderbilt. This is the SEC for you. There's no easy weekends, and this is what you sign up. So this is what you sign up for in the SEC when you come to LSU. So, I like to think they're looking at it and saying, wow, we got LSU coming in this weekend, so we got no easy ones. And, this is the challenge, and we're excited about it. We're going to Knoxville fired up and ready to play, and hopefully we'll go there and have success. It's going to be an exciting weekend. 2 really good ball clubs, I think, and just got to take them one at a time. And after Friday's over, we'll turn our attention to Saturday, and the same thing about Sunday, and just play hard every day and hopefully have success.
Speaking of Saturday, Coach, 31 in the 3rd innings without giving up an earned run. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Well, I'll give you guys a little scoop since we're doing an interview this morning. We're actually going to switch Landon to tomorrow night. He's going to pitch the Friday night game tomorrow. Okay, you guys are the first to hear that. So we're going to announce it later today. I just think Landon, first of all, Jaden hadn't done anything to lose the Friday night job. He's pitching tremendous. But I did empty his tank last Friday. I probably pitched him a couple of batters too long, maybe even an inning too long. He was at 85 pitches after 7 innings. I thought he still had it. He gave up a base hit to the first batter. Then he gave up a cheap hit. Probably should have hooked him there, but I knew they had their best hitter in the on-deck circle, and I wanted to try to keep us in the game. And it's no secret that the bullpen was a little kind of struggling. That's the toughest decision a manager has, guys. We're down 3-1. You don't really want to use Fontenot. You don't want to use Edwards. You don't want to use Floyd, because you're already losing. And why blow your best arms if you don't end up coming back to win the game, and you're not really showing a lot of offensive power against their best arms. So, you want to try to stay in the game. And I thought that Jaden still had it. And they get a couple of cheap hits. I leave him in. He does end up getting their best hitter out, but then, he's at 100 pitches, and now it's time to take him. Actually, I thought that McHale came in and did a good job. He threw a strike, and the guy ambushed it and, gets a base hit in the 6 hole there and breaks the game open. But McHale threw the ball well, and unfortunately, they ended up scoring the 3 runs and breaking the game open. But, because I really pushed Jaden, and emptied his tank, I just wanted to give him an extra day's rest. That combined with the fact that I just think Landon has been our best pitcher, I decided to move him to Friday this week. And if we're going to do it, we have to do it now, because next week everybody's going on 1 day short rest because the series starts on Thursday against Vanderbilt. So if we wanted to go with Landon on game 1 next week, we had to make the switch right now. So we're going to go with Landon tomorrow night. Jaden will move to Saturday, and AJ will stay on Sunday. So, Landon's pitching such great baseball, and he deserved to get a win on Saturday. It was a shame he didn't get it. He's deserved to win every start he's had so far this year, and hopefully, he'll start piling up the wins if he continues pitching this way, and I sure hope he does.
Hey, Coach, last one for me. Another move that you made last weekend was Collier Cranford becoming the starting second baseman for the weekend series. Kind of what went into that decision, because obviously to that point he had not been a starter, but started over the weekend and was really scrappy, I thought, in multiple phases of the game.
I thought that was an important move, too. I knew they had 6 left-handed batters, Jacob, and I thought they'd hit a lot of ground balls on that side of the infield. And Collier is a good athlete, and he has the superior range defensively to Zach Arnold, and probably right now is a more steady infielder than Zach. Zach's been struggling a little bit defensively. The dilemma is that Zach Arnold's probably the superior offensive player right now. Zach's hitting about 300 and has 4 home runs. So you just had to decide, do you want to go with the defense or the offense? And when the wind was blowing in on Friday night, I figured it wasn't going to be a big offensive day anyway. It was going to neutralize Zach Arnold's abilities as a hitter. So why not go with the defense and the range? And Collier, I think, just solidified and steadied our defense in the infield, and I thought it was a good move to do that. It didn't help us offensively, but I don't know that Zach Arnold would have made a difference anyway. And I Collier really had some good at bats, and sometimes he didn't bunt well a couple times that we asked him to bunt, but he did draw a walk. He had a base hit. He hit another ball hard. I thought he really rose up and played well all weekend. Now, I'm not sure what we'll do this weekend. When we get there, we'll kind of look at the climatal conditions. Is the wind blowing out? We are playing on artificial turf, so the hop should be true. Whether or not the range is going to be important or not, and we'll see what their lineup looks like. So I think it'll kind of be one of those things that's in flux, because I don't want to give up on Zach Arnold. He's done some good things for us, and we'll just see how we'll play that one going forward.
All right, Coach, last one. We've held you long enough. Just what are the strengths of this Tennessee team? What do you think they're bringing to bear, and what makes them a top 10 team in the country?
Well, they got some good athletes. There's no question about it. We tried to recruit their center fielder, a kid out of Minnesota, but he ended up going to Tennessee, and he's been their 4-hole hitter. He's got 5 home runs. He's a nice-looking player. Their third baseman, their right fielder, good-looking athletes. They got a Canadian kid playing shortstop, a kid named Spence. It's been kind of their catalyst. They got a solid catcher. They really got a good player at every position, and they've got a good, solid rotation. They actually had they were really high on their pitching staff last year. They had a kid that actually went straight from Tennessee to the big leagues, a left-handed pitcher named Crotchet. Didn't play in the minor leagues at all, but he's not back for them. So they actually had a better pitching staff last year than they do this year, and they got a really solid pitching staff this year. You got a closer that hadn't given up a run in like 28 straight innings. So, they just got a really good, solid, all-around team, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're 18-4. They just, like I said, had a big series at Georgia. So, this new coach has really put a lot of life into the program. They're going to be a handful. There's no question about it. And we're going to have to meet them at the challenge and just play better than them. in the SEC, it comes down to not so much the talent, because everybody's going to be very equal, but how well do you play on a given day? Can you outpitch them, make the plays, and get the big hits on a given day? And we got to go out there, just meet them toe to toe, and hopefully become victorious each day.
Love it, Coach. Cannot wait for this weekend. It's been a ton of fun to watch. Conference play is here. I know all of LSU baseball is excited. Coach Mainieri, thank you so much for stopping by this Thursday.
Okay, guys. Good to be with you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. You have an excellent day. So some breaking news there from LSU baseball head coach Paul Mainieri. Landon Marceau will be taking the mound on Friday night. Jaden Hill will be doing battle Saturday. Good call, Moose. You were ahead of the curve on this one. That's why everybody should listen to the Moose Outside the Box podcast on 1045ESPN.com. Coming up next, we'll get Moose's thoughts on this weekend series and maybe revisit a little football as well.
Can we get like a Moose sound whenever
get something
Moose
right?
predicts something that's going to happen? Because that's happened like 7 times already this baseball season.
I feel like a moose makes like a like something like that.
I think it's like a groan type thing, or something.
Okay. Hell yeah.
It'd be cool.
It's like a mix between a growl and a groan.
Do a
look
little
that up.
Foley, a little moose Foley. All right, coming up next, more baseball talk here on Awesome Man.